Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Andrew Storm with Creative Community Solutions. And as you're aware, on the press and media end, we are able to capture some great stories of impact, whether it's arts and entertainment, sports, government, community, and more. And to stay connected with us, make sure to visit our website of asnortonccs.com. For our articles, when you go on the website, just click on articles and coverage. That'll be the easiest way to do it. On your social media platforms, Creative Community Solutions LLC on Facebook and YouTube, as well as Ace Norton CCS on Instagram and Twitter, which goes back and forth between Twitter and X, but you know what I'm talking about. And we are so excited to have one of the great creatives that I've been blessed to know, I guess almost like 2 years now, who has his hands in some great things from acting, music, and more. So, Tone Swing, it is good to see you. Please reintroduce yourself to people who haven't met you.
Hey Andrew, wonderful to see you too. And to everyone who hasn't met me yet, I am Tone Swing. That's TONEWSWING, local actor and recording artist in the Atlanta area. Involved in a few really cool acting projects that I can't talk about yet until they're out. But I do train at the professional actors studio run by Nick Conti. It's really awesome. Music wise, I'm training myself in a few different ways because there's a couple different musical disciplines I'm involved in, whether that be singing, producing, mixing, mastering, engineering, essentially a one-man studio at times. So I definitely involve myself in more ways when it comes to music. Also, recently released a project, another project, uh, musically, just about a month ago. So a lot of moving parts there. Lots of great, cool, awesome stuff to dive into. But but yeah, that's just a quick overview of what I've been up to recently.
Wow. And I tell you what, you just said a whole lot right there because I remember when I first connected with you on the acting end, you were still having your foot in acting, the music, and just talk with us before we get into the current project. Talk with us a little bit about your creative journey and what was it? Was it, I don't know, a song? Was it something that you saw that really hooked you to let you know, hey, look, this is the pathway that I need to travel on?
Yeah, for me, it's always been a matter of my personal vision from when I was really small, which was a long time ago. I always imagined myself being an entertainer of some sorts. Always pictured myself, being on stage, whether that be a theater stage or a music stage. It didn't really matter. I just wanted to be in front of some large crowd of people doing something fun. That's just always how I saw myself. So as of as of recently, music was something I got into several years ago. Like within the past 6 7 years, I started putting music out. Acting, I got into acting around the time that we met, actually, around 2.5, we're coming up on 3 years now. Um, and really, it's just been a lot of fun, doing both passions at the same time, blending them together, doing both, and really just seeing how both acting and music really feed and help each other.
And one thing I can say with you from having seen you act, listening to your previous project, you bring like a definite energy, passion, and purpose. Just explain like how those things come together for you to do I'll say, engaging and amazing work.
I really appreciate that. For me, it's all about being intentional. Um, just about, anybody can get in front of a camera, anybody can jump into a studio and uh, do whatever. But in my mind, something I've always kept in the back of my mind was actually a quote that Lil Wayne said. not too many years ago. He said, "You always want to be the person who stands out. You always want to be the person who can make a listener stop scrolling, or make a viewer, stop scrolling and just watch you and pay attention to whatever it is that you're doing." So, um, I'm always looking for an edge, regardless of what I'm doing. I'm always looking for an edge. I'm always looking for something extra that I can add, something more that I can do, like a bit more personal flair, whether that be me, adding more depth to my characters when it comes to acting, or finding ways to, add more of my own style and personality. When I'm making music, I'm always looking for something extra I can add that'll really stick with the listener. And it seems to be working out pretty well for me so far.
And it sounds like it. And it's like you had a great project the last time we talked, and now your current project is no more than like 3, 4 weeks old. Give us the name of the project. All right. So, a couple things: the name of the project, and what encouraged you to go ahead and go in this particular direction musically.
Absolutely. So the name of my current project is Thunder Stage. And what encouraged me to go in this direction was actually a project that I made several years ago, like 4 or 5 years ago, which you can't find it on streaming services anymore, because I decided it wasn't quite up to par, so I took it down. But when I made that album, I remember listening back to it and thinking to myself, "This is great, but I know I can do better." Um, and ever since then, the entire 5 years, from then to now, my entire goal musically was to make something better, something more cohesive, that flows better, better writing, better lyrics, better production, better recorded, everything, just a full 100-point upgrade. So that was my whole goal for several years. Um, Last year, the collection of songs that I dropped was really just me getting my feet wet. Um, Again, just getting back into music. I kind of taken some time off of music to focus strictly on acting, but then I realized, I'm really at my best when I'm doing both at the same time. But yeah, once I found my new rhythm, and I got into my groove of writing the songs that I needed to write, and finishing them, I was finally able to finish Thunder Stage within the past year, and I am extremely happy with the way it came out.
And you know what? When I'm listening to that, I'm thinking to myself, this is part evolution as an artist, evolution as a creative, and just a different sense of insight. And when I say maturity, it doesn't mean that you were like wild and reckless and doing foolish, but just where your perspective and your view and embracing your skills and talents is just different. So explain to us a little bit about the difference that you're seeing with each project. Like, you see yourself growing, or you, like you were saying before, you're challenging yourself and tapping into hidden skill sets. So talk with us a little bit about that evolutionary process.
Absolutely, love to. So my evolution process, uh, I'll say it's an interesting process to describe, but I'll say it's definitely like a straight line with really incremental increases over time, and then maybe every few months, or maybe half a year, there'll be this huge leap, this huge spike out of nowhere, and then more steady progress, just small improvements here and there that lead to another huge jump. That's just what I've noticed, and majority of the time evolution starts in my mindset. For a long time, I felt like I was limited to just being like the artist that I listened to, which I quickly found out is not true. You know, I can I can be, you know, whoever I want to be. It's just, up to me to decide, what I want my sound to be like, at least, on the music side. Um, Acting wise, I mean, I felt like there was, just one certain little box, I wanted to put myself in. Like there's only one type of actor I could be until, over time with, more training, I began to realize, the whole point of being an actor is to be anything, but just to put, uh my own personal unique spin on it, you know. So yeah, definitely a lot of evolution as of late, on both sides. I think the biggest evolution I've gone through as an artist and a creative, I'll definitely say I'll definitely say is on the music side. Um, but I use I use acting as like it's also a bit of a catalyst, with music as well, you know. Um like in acting, a lot of times, we do exercises to really, find what's authentic and true with us, for a scene and for a character. And I started incorporating those same techniques into my music, and I noticed a huge leap in, you know, um, the kind of songs I was able to write, or the kind of songs I was even comfortable putting out. So that was definitely a huge leap forward for me, and it wouldn't have happened if I wasn't doing both acting and music at the same time.
Mhm. Well, I tell you what, just in that, you sound like a true creative from the standpoint of you can operate
Thank you.
in individual creative spaces, but you found a way to where you can bring both together, and it really helps you in all the different areas that you're covering. So with the current release, again, give us the name of the release, where people can download, stream, or what have you, and do you have any upcoming performances where people can hear you live?
Awesome, awesome. So again, the name of my current album is Thunder Stage. That's one word, Thunder Stage. Just the words thunder and then stage. There's a whole, you know, artsy reason behind the name, but I go into that more in the album itself. So I'll spare everyone here. But as far as performances are coming soon. Um, Soon is the best word I have for you right now. No dates are set yet, but the performances are coming very soon. And Thunder Stage, I will be performing songs from Thunder Stage live in the very near future. Um, all of my social media is at Toneswing, TONESWING. I am most active on Instagram and Facebook. Well, technically, since everything I post on Instagram automatically copies to Facebook, so that's easy. But yeah, that's just a great place to keep up with me, follow everything I'm doing, and to see all about Thunder Stage.
Well, I tell you what, again, as usual, when we get a chance to talk, there's always just a creative vibe, creative energy, creative spirit, and the insight is tremendous. Like I thought last time, I'm like, man, you've I tell you what, you just keep elevating. If people don't remember
Thank you.
anything you've talked about from what you're doing through the lens of acting, music, and just embracing your creative spirit and energy, of the many things that you've learned, what's one takeaway you'd like for us to put in our hip pocket or put in our side pocket that we can use moving forward?
I say embrace your quirks. Um, that's the biggest. I think, yeah, that's the biggest thing I've taken away personally just within the past year. Embrace your quirks, embrace what makes you different, embrace what makes you weird, quote unquote. Um, Not a lot of people are willing to do that, but the people who are are oftentimes the people that everyone else is copying, you know, but we don't realize we're just copying somebody else's quirks, you know. Once we find our own, we become impossible to copy. And that's something that I think is really awesome. When I started, you know, not worrying so much about fitting in and, just deciding to, embrace who I was, like all around, like not just as an actor, not just as a recording artist, but just in general. I notice, I get more success consistently. I leave more of an impact. People remember who I am, what I say, what I do. And all that really just comes from the confidence of uh, embracing my quirks, and embracing what makes me different. So I encourage everyone who watches this to to do that. Dare to be weird.
Dare to be different and just embrace who you are and whose you are. I so appreciate you dropping that nugget because it goes beyond the art. So, like I said, it's just a different level of maturity. I'm like, let me keep taking notes. And when look at you,
I appreciate.
giving a creative sermon right here. Look at you. Look at you. So again, before we wind down, remind people again the best ways for people to stay connected with you and to be able to download, stream, and support the work that you're doing.
Oh yes, yes. Streaming services too. I got to talk about that. But yeah, all my social media is at Tone Swing. Thunder Stage is available on all streaming platforms: Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, YouTube, and all the other ones that not a lot of people use, but they're available. Thunder Stage is on all of those too. Um, Not SoundCloud. Normally, I put albums on SoundCloud. This one is not on SoundCloud. I was not about to put 27 tracks on SoundCloud. I would have had to do that manually. But you can find Thunder Stage anywhere else. Keep up with me on social media. Again, I'm most active on Instagram. I'm pretty I'm pretty regularly talking about what I'm doing. If I haven't posted anything in a while, you should be excited because that means I'm working on something. But if I'm posting about something, I'm posting about something that's already done. So definitely tap in, check out the Understage. Keep an eye out for shows coming up soon. And again, the Understage is available on all streaming services. Um, Anywhere that you listen to music, the Understage is available. Again, that's Thunder Stage, one word.
Well, I tell you what, as always, it is a pleasure to sit down and talk. Obviously, best wishes with the current project, as well as whatever's on the horizon, because all the creators are working on something. That's not just a catchphrase, ladies and gentlemen. We really are working on different things. So to catch the full interview, we'll have our article available on asnortonccs.com. Click on the menu for articles and coverage, and you'll be able to find it. The full interview that you see right here will be available on our YouTube channel, Creative Community Solutions, LLC. Make sure to add us there, as well as Facebook, Creative Community Solutions, LLC, and A. Snorton CCS on Instagram. And I'll still call it Twitter, even though we know it's some variable, but that's okay. But thank you for taking and making the time to share with us the great work you're doing. And as I always say, ladies and gentlemen, if this is your first time connecting with our guests, please do not let it be your last. And until next time, all of you, take very good care. We look forward to seeing you soon. Make sure to check out Thunder Stage, the newest release by Tone Swing, on your favorite social media platforms. You may watch the full interview at Creative Community Solutions LLC on YouTube, and make sure to check us out on the web at asnortonccs.com/blog for the article. See you soon.